Missing someone. Missing someone. Missing someone. Before you're missing someone.
What's up guys, Anurag here, and if you guys have been following me on my socials, you might be knowing that I got the Pixel 3 recently and I've been using this device for around 40 days. So here are my initial opinions on how this phone has held up even after a year of launch, and as the Google Pixel 4 is right around the corner, I thought of making this video as a throwback to the Pixel 3. So with that being said, let's get started. So the Pixel phones are criticized at their launch about many things, say their hardware or the software, and that is true to some extent, but the way Google tackles this criticism is really good and they really bring out updates improving their devices over time. So let's talk about the build and design, and I personally love the matte finish on the back as it feels much more premium than just a glossy finish and also does a good job at resisting fingerprints. One downside though is that it is much more slippery than a normal glossy back, and combined with the polished frame, this is a very slippery device. But thanks to the small form factor of the Pixel 3, it is a pretty manageable device in the hand. Another downside, or not actually a downside you can say, is that the matte finish on the back might seem like it is getting scratched up fairly easily, but if you actually look closely, those are not scratches and is residue that settles on the glass due to rubbing off the glass on various surfaces. These marks are fairly easy to rub off though, just a slight rub with a microfiber cloth and you are good to go. There is a camera hump, but it is not as significant as seen on some other devices like the newer iPhones or even the OnePlus 7T, and using the Pixel 3 on a flat surface is no problem at all as it does not wobble a bit. And also, yes, there is no headphone jack, which was kind of a bummer for me since this is the first device which I have used without one, but over time I got used to it and the jack is not much of a big deal for me anymore. Also, the buttons are tactile and give a satisfactory click on pressing them, a very big plus point for me as I hate mushy buttons. The bezels on the front are not the thinnest, but it doesn't matter much to me as all I look for these days in a smartphone is a display with an 18:9 aspect ratio, as I'm so used to this ratio that going back to a 16:9 display is impossible. Also, the top and bottom bezels actually serve a purpose of housing the amazing sounding dual speaker systems. These speakers are amazing. They are full, crisp and detailed and also very loud, making them one of the best sounding speakers in the smartphone industry. In fact, they are so loud that the back of the phone starts vibrating at high volumes and it basically feels like another small speaker with a great quality. Sometimes at higher volumes though, I feel like the bass doesn't kick in and also there is a little bit of distortion. So yeah. The display is amazing though. The display panel is made by LG and I have no complaints at all. Colors and contrast is great, viewing angles are great, and overall the sharpness of the display is good. And even if you are not big fan of more of a natural look and prefer a bit saturated colors, then Google has got you covered with a variety of color settings like boosted or adaptive. I personally like having saturated colors, so I keep it on adaptive or boosted most of the time. The display also has rounded corners to complement the rounded corners of the phone, which looks stunning. That's all about the build and design, and I really seem to enjoy it as it screams premium and polished. Now, before talking about the software, one thing I would like to bring into limelight is that at the launch, the Pixel 3 had many software bugs and various memory management issues which have been solved over time by Google. So is it a buggy experience now? Well, not at all, and probably after the Android 10 update, the software feels much more refined. The software experience is just as simple and smooth as Android can get. No bloatware, no third-party skin, no ads, Xiaomi, and neat customization features that will make your experience much more better. I just love the way the software works. In fact, this is probably the smoothest Android phone I have ever used in so many years, and I love it. Some of the major changes that have come along with Android 10 update just make this a fully polished and a complete Android experience. Software updates are also not a sweat, as this is a Pixel device and will continue to get the latest updates for 3 years ahead. Talking about the performance is also on par, and even though this is not rolling the latest silicon that Qualcomm has to offer, the performance is really good. Apps open up quickly, memory management is an A+, and overall the phone feels snappy and quick. So after all, the main reason I got the Pixel 3 over the OnePlus 7 or any other device is the cameras, or the camera. This is just a phenomenal camera, and the images that it produces are so close to that of natural scenario that you are clicking a picture of. The processing done on these images by Google's algorithm is amazing, and you truly need to experience this in person to appreciate this. Not only that, the set of features that the app provides is amazing. Night sight being one of my most favorites, as it just makes low light photography much more easier, as it turns nights into days, with great details even in low light. The portrait mode as well, even with just a single lens on the back, does an exceptionally great job, and even a better job than some other devices with multiple lenses. Now, I don't seem to have a bunch of examples of the camera to show it to you guys, but hey, I have an Instagram where I'll be posting my pictures taken with the Pixel 3, and I would really appreciate if you guys could drop a follow. Links in the description. So all that's left is to talk about is the battery life, and trust me, I have seen surprised faces when I say that 2915 mAh digit. Even though this capacity is small to today's standards, it easily gets me through the day with a screen on time of 5 to 5.5 hours with heavy usage. Also, the fact that fast charging and wireless fast charging is available, topping this battery up is also not a problem. So I've used this device for 40 days, and how's my experience, you might ask? Well, I'm loving this device, and even with the Pixel 4 being right around the corner, this is not at all a disappointing device if camera and software is your preference. So that's been it for this video. This is Anurag here, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.
Missing someone.